Hello everyone, this is Kay Benyarko. This is a very important lesson, but first I want to thank you guys again for your comments and for your encouragement. Um, I recently got a request by one of my subscribers to show him how to solo and or improvise, and that's a very hard question that a lot of players struggle with. Today's lesson is going to try and help a little bit with that. As with always, while you as you practice something, you get better. So improvising needs to also be practiced. The song I just did was Confirmation by Charlie Parker. I just did a progression. I'll play it again, and just I want you to listen to how I solo. I'll just play one chorus of it, just the changes. Okay, so as you can tell, I tried, my best to make the solo sound well, and some of it is because I've been playing well, but another reason why my solos sound like that is because I understand the rules of playing melodically. Now, to understand this, you have to understand your scales, right? So we're gonna use the C scale to practice some of this, right? As always, I go through my Barry Harris chords also whenever I practice, just like my scales. Because it helps you harmonize and it helps you understand harmony and internalize it. Okay, so the rules of playing melodically and making sense. First of all, you have to understand what scale degrees are. So those are names given to your major scale. Okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 1, or the beginning of the scale, is called your tonic. Okay, your 2 is called a supertonic. Your 3 is your median. Your 4 is your subdominant. Your 5 is your dominant. Your 6 is your submedian. Your 7 is your leading tone. You have your 8, your tonic. Again, you have your tonic, which is 1. Your supertonic, right? 2. Your median, which is 3. Your subdominant, which is 4. Dominant, 5. Submedian, right? Leading tone, and tonic, okay? So these are called that for a reason, okay? Now, there are two types. They're called scale degrees, first of all, okay? Now, there are two types of scale degrees. There are stable scale degrees, and then there are active scale degrees, and I'll explain that in a second. Okay, so what are your stable scale degrees? You have tonic, your median, your dominant, back to tonic. So your 1, 3, 5 are stable. That means if you're ever improvising and you land on 1, or you land on 3, or you land on 5, it makes sense, right? I'll show you. Let's take just a improvising between C major and D minor, right? So watch this. see, I can end in any of those 1, 3, or 5, and it's okay. And it's called stable degrees. Your active degrees, on the other hand, are your 2, 4, 6, and 7. All right? They're called active because they are always moving somewhere. Okay? So I'll give you an example. Again, with a C major and a D minor chord. You see, I started there and it ended at the stable one, the 1, 3, and 5, right? So it ended at 5, right? It started here. Right? Ended with a stable. Ended with another stable. Stable, again, 1, 3, 5. Active, 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay, those are your active. Now, there's another scale degree called your leading, and which is your 7th. The 7th of the scale, right? Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So your 7 is called your leading. Why it's called a leading is it always leads to your tonic, which is the 1. Alright, right? If you hear the scale, da 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 da, right? So it's either moving to the tonic or moving away from the tonic. It's married to the tonic, you could say. So it is your leading song. So again, using those rules and your C major, D minor, we'll try and see if we can improvise there, okay? Stable, active, stable, leading, you see, that 2 is an active, so it moved to the stable, and then I ended up at a stable, okay? So these are melodic rules of improvisation, right? To sound more lyrical or to make more sense with your solos. Okay, so that's one thing. Another thing is learning your intervals. So learning what C to E, C to F, and then C to G sound. And also learning how the scales go down from each note. One exercise I like to do is to play my C scale starting from each note. Okay, so starting from C, starting from D, starting from E, F, and so on, right? It helps you understand how scales move, you know? My example, if I'm going from C to G, C is a stable, G is a stable because it's 1, 3, 5, right? Stable to the leading, right? It's either leading from the tonic or to the tonic. Okay. Another rule in terms of jazz is you have to know your blues scales, right? So in that, let's say, since we're in C, you can use the relative minor of C, which means this. If you're in C, you go to the 7th. You go to the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you can use that blues scale. So any key you're in, the 6 is your relative minor. You can use that blues scale. If I'm in E, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm in E flat, I can improvise with my C scale. Another thing is using triplet sound. Triplet, and that's something you find in jazz. Okay? So again, we have the blues scale, triplets. I'm going to use that with my scale theory, my degree theory. After that, you have your blues. You know how your active degrees move. You know that this is your subdominant, right? Subdominant always goes to the dominant, right? Or to the medium, right? Or subdominant, which is your 4, leads to the tonic. So you can use that. I'm going to play a blues just in scale in C. And what I'm going to use are these 3 systems. We have my relative 6 blues. So if we're in C, my A minor blues. We're going to use my C scale. We're going to use both my stable degrees, right? 1, 3, 5.